Do y'all remember? I forgot what it was. Was it Virginia or something like that? It was one of those governors that basically was advocating for men and women's bathrooms and men and women's sports. And Trump was basically saying, okay, listen, mess around and find out. And I'm going to withdraw funding that I'm sending to your state because of it. Well, he is demanding a full apology now. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's spend 10 minutes on this one, y'all.
Is Maine here, the governor of Maine?
Maine. Governor of Maine.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't.
See you in court.
Every state, good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one.
President Trump looking to end his dispute with Maine Governor Janet Mills once and for all and demanding a, quote, full-throated apology from the Democrat mayor who has been silent on protecting women's sports before fully restoring federal funding.
Last time I asked a woman for a full-throated apology, never mind. It's the Millionaire Morning Show. I was about to go dark. Where's my black Air Force Ones at? Where's my... Is it Monday or is it Friday? I don't know how he came up with that. I don't know how he came up with a full-throated... What is a full-throated apology? What is okay, somebody tell me in the chat, what is a full-throated apology? Because I took that wrong, and maybe it's just because my mind is not right and it's not doing what it's supposed to do. What is a full-throated apology? Okay, tell me that I'm not the only person that thought that full-throated meant one thing when it probably meant something else. But neither here nor there. The Trump administration is demanding that she will never make such an unlawful challenge to the federal government again before this case can be settled. You don't want to mess with the funding to your state, do you?
Joining us now is Maine State Representative Laurel Libby. Representative Libby, thank you for joining us this morning. From the outside, it kind of looks like Janet Mills completely folded in the face of President Trump's threats, but I think you have a slightly different and perhaps a better informed view of it.
Governor Mills is trying to pull a fast one here. She has no intention of removing biological males from girls' sports in Maine. We heard this last week that the University of Maine system has said that they will comply with Title IX. But guess what? They've never had biological males participating in girls' sports. It's actually at the high school level, not the college level, where we've seen biological males participating in girls' sports in Maine. And Governor Mills, the Democrat majority in the Maine Principals Association, have no intention whatsoever of changing their policy, let alone apologizing to President Trump.
Okay, so that's...
So wait a minute. Because on a very basic level, guys, what I'm trying to understand is, why are y'all willing to risk funding to your state? Why are you fighting a fight that nobody asked you to fight? Is somebody asking y'all to fight this fight that I'm not familiar with? Who is fighting the fight to make sure that they can have men and women's sports and men and girls bathrooms? Have y'all seen... I'm gonna have to do a review video on it on the Anton Daniels channel. Have y'all seen the video of the girl that was basically like, yo, I'm the person that was going against the dude that was a swimmer that was breaking all of the women's records, and I actually tagged him in a meet, and I would actually have to deal with him coming inside of our bathrooms over at this major university? Have y'all seen that video? I'm assuming that none of y'all got daughters. Of all the fights that you can fight, of all of the things that we need to solve and the social ills of this world, you're ready to stand on business when it comes to funding to your state. Let's say you win. Let's say you hold it up. Let's say you have to use taxpayer dollars to battle Trump in court, which you will not win, because I can't see any court standing up to the idea that they're allowing for men to go in women's sports. But maybe we do. We know what, we got a lot of Obama judges, right? What is wrong with y'all? Riley Gaines, that was her name. Riley Gaines, and she talked about. I hope I could see that. Let me see some more of that.
Absolutely mind-blowing. So the problem is actually even worse than what we think, because it's, at the college level it's bad, but the idea that it's at the high school level is even worse. Is there anything that a president can do about that at the high school level?
Well, the question remains the same. It's the federal funding issue. When you look at the K through 12 level, there are hundreds of $millions at stake here. And that's the level where we need to see the Trump administration taking action and absolutely following through on their promise, unfortunately, to take federal funding and ensure that Maine does not receive that. It's the only way that Maine girls will see a fair, safe, and level playing field. And unfortunately, at the same time, that will harm Maine students. But I think that's the only recourse we have in our state.
Yeah, so this is one of those issues that I think in 10 years from now, we're going to look back and try to have to explain to our kids that this was ever an issue, because it makes no sense. But and so I think that normal Democrats don't support any of this stuff. Do you get the sense that some of your Democrat colleagues in Maine realize what a loser this is, and hopefully, more importantly, how dangerous this is and how bad this is for children, and that maybe they should get sort of in league with you guys to actually try to fix some of this at the high school level?
As a mom of one,
everyday Mainers absolutely across party lines understand that it's common sense. Biological males don't have a place in girls' sports. Unfortunately, at the legislative level, we don't necessarily see that same response. The Democrats over the years have primaried out their more reasonable counterparts. Wow. And so we have really extremists at the state house level. And that's why I see recourse necessary from the federal level versus the state level and anything.
I raced and tied with a male athlete at the Division I NCAA Women's Swimming and Diving National Championship. This athlete had swum 3 years prior. 3 years ago to the day, I raced and tied with a male athlete at the Division I NCAA Women's Swimming and Diving National. 3 years ago to the day, I raced and tied with a male athlete at the Division I NCAA Women's Swimming and Diving National Championship. This athlete had swum 3 years prior on the men's team at University of Pennsylvania before ultimately deciding to switch to the women's team in his senior year. In the men's division, he was a mediocre Division I swimmer at best, to then just 12 months later switching to the women's division and winning a national title. This athlete stood at over 6'4" and shared a locker room space with myself, my teammates, and other female swimmers from around the country. And he was fully male. Given the fact that this was 3 years ago to the day, the timing of what I'm about to tell you feels serendipitous, because today President Trump announced that he is withholding $175 million in federal funds from the University of Pennsylvania because of their regressive, discriminatory policies against women that ultimately allowed for this man to be on the women's team. First of all, UPenn is considered to be a prestigious, accredited academic institution, which, how in the world can you be an accredited educational establishment if you can't tell the difference between men and women? The sheer essence of humanity. Although I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, considering we have a sitting Supreme Court justice who doesn't know what a woman is. And second of all, this is not all of UPenn's federal funding. They receive over $1 billion a year in federal funds, which raises my second question. Why in the world is a private institution receiving that much in federal funds anyway? UPenn charges exorbitant tuitions and they receive billions in endowments. Why should my taxpayer dollars be taken from me under force of threat to pay for anyone or anything at that university? Again, a private university. $175 million is a drop in the bucket for University of Pennsylvania, but hopefully this sends a message to every university, to every corporation, to every entity that receives federal funds, that you will no longer use your policies or initiatives or programs to discriminate against women on the basis of our sex. And
y'all are being discriminated against. You guys, women are being discriminated against, and you're fighting for this to remain in our society and in our culture.
Legislatively.
Well, thank you so much for putting up the good fight, and keep us informed on how things are going up there in Maine. This is not how our political leaders are supposed to be behaving. Thank you so much.
So Trump is demanding a full-throated apology. Again, I'm not sure exactly what that means. I guess he wants a verbal apology for disrespect that came from the unlawful challenge that the federal government has to deal with. I'm not sure if he'll be able to actually hold that funding. If I was the people of Maine, I would be demanding that our government give a full-throated apology, whatever that means. I would be demanding that my governor give a full-throated apology, because it's no reason why we should be standing on doing this stuff against our girls anyway. All right? All right? I think that's all. I think that's all. I think we covered it all. I had one more thing that I thought that I wanted to cover today, but I'm going to hold off. I think that we can go ahead and cover it tomorrow. We can make sure we get to it tomorrow.